I live in a place called Hollow Bend, a small town hidden away, tucked between low rolling hills and a sprawl of woods so dense, so dark, it's like they're holding their breath, waiting. The air here smells sharp, pine needles, wet soil, a hint of something old, something buried. The houses, they're scattered along a single winding road, old clapboard things, porches sagging under the weight of years, paint peeling like skin. I've been here since I was 8, when my family traded the city's noise for this quiet, this stillness. I turned 15 last month, October 13th, a Friday, and I'll tell you something. I love this town. The gardens bloom too bright, roses and marigolds spilling over fences like they're trying to escape. The creeks twist through the hollow, cold and clear, never drying up, even in the dead of summer. The stars at night, they hang low, closer than they should, watching us, judging us maybe, but every night, every single night, no matter if the wind howls or the sky's calm, something walks through Hollow Bend, humming, a low, eerie sound, starting at 3:03 a.m. Right on the second dot, it begins near the old stone well at the town's edge, drifts past every house, then fades into the forest beyond the abandoned mill. You can only hear it if you're downstairs when it passes. Up in my room, under the slanted roof, it's nothing, just the creak of the house settling. But down below, in the living room, the kitchen, it's there. And there's one rule we all live by. Don't ever try to see what's making it. My name's Carter. I've got a little brother, Eli. He's 10 now, born 3 months early, his heart too weak to keep him going. Back then, in the city, we'd stand outside the NICU, mom clutching dad's arm, me pressing my nose to the glass, watching him, so small, wires snaking over his chest, machines beeping, breathing for him. He wasn't supposed to make it. That's what they told us, over and over. Prepare yourselves, they'd say. My parents were drowning. Mom stopped sleeping. Dad worked double shifts to pay the bills. Then one day, a job opened up out here. Hollow Bend, middle of nowhere. A lumber mill looking for a mechanic. Dad jumped at it, packed us up in a week, said the air might help Eli, might give him a chance. We moved into a house on the edge of town, 2 stories, and the day we unpacked, the day we carried Eli's crib through the door, something changed. His cheeks flushed, no more machines, no more tubes. Within a year, he was toddling across the yard, chasing butterflies, laughing. The doctors back in the city scratched their heads. A fluke, they called it, a miracle. But we knew, me, mom, dad, it wasn't medicine. It wasn't chance. It was Hollow Bend. This town, it's strange, but it's a good strange. Most days, the people here, they're warm, the kind who wave from rocking chairs, leave baskets of tomatoes or jars of honey on your doorstep in July. Kids like me, there's just a handful. Jake with his freckles, Lila who climbs everything. We grew up tight, biking down dirt paths till our legs burned, fishing in the creek with bent hooks and stale bread, kicking a half-flat ball around the empty lot by the mill, sprawling on someone's lawn, counting fireflies till the dark pressed in. The air buzzes with crickets here, frogs croaking from the reeds. It's alive. And the luck, God, the luck. Dad won a rifle in a raffle he didn't even sign up for. A 22 with a polished stock. Hangs above the fireplace now. Mom's garden. It's unreal. Pumpkins the size of tires every fall. Corn so tall it blocks the sun. My friend Jake, He found a silver dollar in the creek bed once, gleaming like it was minted yesterday. Miss Clara down the road. She's 82. Been here 50 years. Swears she's never had a cold. Never a fever. 1,000 little gifts, Mom says. Her voice soft, hesitant, like she's afraid to name it, to claim it. But there's a shadow, always a shadow, and it's tied to that humming. When we first got here, 7 years ago, I remember the dust on the moving truck, the way the house smelled like mildew and promise. The town elders came by that afternoon, not some official group, just the ones who've lasted longest. Mr. Grady, limping from an old logging accident, cane tapping the porch steps, Miss Ruth Gray, braids swinging down her back, eyes sharp as a hawk's, and the twins, Amos and Lila, wiry and quiet, always in matching flannel, red and black checks. They brought bread, fresh from Miss Ruth's oven, warm in my hands when I snuck a piece, and a leather book, thick dot tied with twine. I was supposed to be unpacking, setting up my room, posters of baseball players and spaceships, but I lingered, crept to the stairs, sat on the top step, ear pressed to the banister, listening. They sat my parents down at the kitchen table, wood scarred from years of other families. Mr. Grady's voice rumbled up. There's something you need to know about Hollow Bend. They told him about the humming, how it starts at 3:03 a.m., ends 2 minutes later, tick of 3:05. How it's been here since the well was dug, maybe before. It's harmless, he said, gravel in his throat. Just a quirk, a piece of this place, long as you don't look for it. Miss Ruth slid that book across the table. I heard the pages. Newspaper clippings, old ones, faded ink. These are the ones who did, she said. Car wrecks, barns burned to ash, kids drowned in shallow water. Amos spoke up, voice thin. Not everyone dies, but the ones who live. They're hollow after luck turns black. Light goes out of them, like they're walking ghosts. Mom laughed, a sharp bark. This some Hazen thing? You do this to every new family? She got mad then, voice rising. You picking on us 'cause of where he's from? She meant Dad. His family's from the mountains, 2 states over, where folks still talk about spirits in the pines. But Dad, he's big, broad like a bear, accent rough from his childhood. He put a hand on her arm. Easy, Jen. I know these kinds of stories. Grandma used to sit me down, tell me about things that walked at night. Some good, some bad, most just different. We'll listen. That afternoon, he drove to the hardware store in Milton, 30 miles away, came back with wooden shutters, thick latches, little brass locks. He spent hours nailing them up, sweat beading on his forehead, every window sealed tight by sundown. Keeps the key on a chain now, around his neck, tucked under his shirt, like a talisman. The humming, it's always the same. Like a pulse, a lullaby from something ancient, something that doesn't sleep, doesn't rest. I can't hear it from my room, upstairs and under the eaves, just the house creaking, wind rattling the panes. But if I'm downstairs grabbing a glass of water, sneaking a cookie, it creeps in, faint at first, from the well's direction, then louder, closer, as it passes our porch. The floorboards hum with it. Then it fades, slipping into the woods. Mom doesn't say much about it, but I've caught her, maybe once a month, when the moon's full, sky clear. She's out on the porch swing, robe pulled tight, hands in her lap, just listening, staring into the dark, like she's waiting for something. Dad, He hates when we ask. His eyes dart. Voice cuts. Don't dwell on it. Keep the shutters closed. We're fine. He's not mean. Never mean. Just guarding us. Like he's seen something we haven't. Knows something we don't. We've followed the rule for years. 7 winters. 7 summers. Eli's a wiry kid now. Gap-toothed grin. Always in the trees. Mud on his knees. Chasing frogs down by the creek. The town keeps giving. Dad got a raise last year. Out of nowhere. Mom's quilts. She stitches them by hand. Sell out at every fair. People drive from 3 towns over to buy them. I found a pocket knife in the yard once. Digging near the oak. Old blade sharp as new. Etched with initials I couldn't read. We stay 'cause of Eli. 'Cause of the gifts. 'Cause Hollow Bend's carved itself into us. But every now and then, something bad happens. Always to the ones who look. Last month, my cousin Max came to stay. He's 14, a year younger, lives 2 hours away in the city, concrete and noise. He's cocky, always pushing, questioning. I'd told him about the humming before. Late night calls, me whispering into the phone, trying to spook him. He'd laughed. Sounds like a ghost story for babies. But when his parents dropped him off that Friday, for a weekend while they went to some cousin's wedding, I saw it, that glint in his eyes. Curiosity, trouble. He's tall for 14, messy black hair, grin like he's daring the world. They pulled up in their beat-up sedan, dust cloud trailing. Max hopped out, backpack slung over one shoulder. 3 days with you, Hicks, he said. Laughing, I punched his arm. Better than your smog. We spent the night in the living room. Cards spread on the coffee table. Eli on the rug, pushing his toy cars. Some old western flickered on the TV. Horses galloping. Gunshots fading into static. You ever hear that humming thing? Max asked, tossing down a jack of spades. Yeah, every night, I said, keeping my voice flat. We don't talk about it. Why not? He leaned back, smirking. What's it gonna do? Kidnap you? Eat you? It's just a rule, I said, sharper now. Drop it. Eli looked up, rubbing sleep from his eyes. It's not a big deal. You just don't look. Max raised an eyebrow. Look at what? Some old drunk wandering around? Nobody know, I said, and nobody wants to find out. He shrugged, like it was nothing. We kept going, played a few more hands, raided the kitchen for oatmeal cookies. Mom's recipe, crumbly and sweet. Switched the TV to a horror flick. Something about a haunted lake, shadows rippling underwater. Eli fell asleep on the rug, curled up like a puppy. I dragged a blanket over him, figured we'd crash soon. But Max, he wouldn't settle, kept shifting. Eyes flicking to the clock. It was pushing 2:30 a.m., way past when the house usually went quiet, and I could see it, that itch in him, growing. You've never even tried, have you? He said, voice low, so he wouldn't wake Eli. Not once? In 7 years? No, I glared. And you shouldn't either. He grinned, that troublemaker grin. What if I did? Bet it's just a prank. Your weird little town messing with kids. It's almost time, right? Let's see what's out there. I should have stopped him, tackled him, locked him in the bathroom. Anything. But he was already moving, creeping to the front window by the door. The shutter was latched tight, little brass lock glinting in the lamplight. I jumped up, hissed, Max, sit down. He waved me off, pulled something from his pocket. My stomach dropped. Dad's key, from the chain. He'd swiped it when Dad hung his coat up earlier, after dinner. Borrowed this, he said. winking. I lunged. Too late. Click. The lock popped open. The humming started. 3:03 right on the dot. Faint. From the well, but down here, in the living room. It was louder. Deeper. Like it was pressing against the walls. Eli mumbled in his sleep, shifting under the blanket. Max shoved the shutter open. Wood banged the frame, hard. The humming stopped. Max froze, staring out. His smirk melted away, like wax under a flame. He stumbled back, tripped over the coffee table, cards scattering. Then, bang, bang, bang. 3 hard hits on the front door. The walls shook. Dust sifted from the ceiling. Eli jolted awake, eyes wide, scared. I pulled him close. Don't look, okay? Just stay with me. The pounding came again, louder, heavier. A voice called, my voice, but wrong, twisted. Eli, let me in. Dad burst in, Mom right behind. Fireplace pokers in their hands, pulled from under their bed. Dad's face was thunder, eyes wild, scared, like I'd never seen. What happened? He barked. Max looked, I said, voice trembling. The pounding shifted. Back door now, then front again, circling, like something was pacing, testing. The voice changed. Mom's this time. Carter, open the door. It's cold out here. Then mine. Eli, I need you. Eli whimpered, buried his face in my shirt. I kept my eyes on the floor, afraid to even glance up. The air felt thick, cold. Did anyone else look? Dad asked, voice tight, hands shaking on the poker. Just Max, I said. He let out a breath, shaky, relief flickering. But it died when he looked at Max. My cousin was pale, trembling, a wet stain spreading down his jeans. He wouldn't speak, wouldn't blink, just stared at the open shutter, mouth slack. The pounding got worse. Doors, windows, walls like a dozen fists, hammers beating the house. The voice cycled. Dad's, let me in. Mom's, it's me, mine. Eli, please. Even Eli's high and small. Carter, help. It went on. Hours, relentless. The windows rattled. I thought the glass would shatter. Mom pulled us into a huddle on the couch. Eli sandwiched between us, shaking. Dad stood by the door, poker raised. Max curled into a ball beside me, muttering, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Over and over, like a prayer. Around 4 a.m., Max straightened, eyes glassy, face white. I won't tell, he said, loud, cutting through the noise. I swear I won't tell what I saw. Please, just go. The pounding stopped. We held our breath, waiting, listening. Then, at the window Max had opened, like fingernails on glass. It didn't stop. All night, a steady rhythm. We stayed there, huddled. Mom's arms tight around us. Dad's shadow long against the wall. Max rocking, whispering to himself. Till the sun rose, around 7, and the tapping faded, like it melted into the light. Dad checked outside, made us wait in the kitchen. I heard his boots on the porch, the creak of the door. He came back grim, face carved with lines. It's gone, he said, for now. Max's parents came that afternoon, pulled up in their sedan, dust swirling. Mom and Dad walked him over to their rental house. Down the road, stayed inside for over an hour. Eli stuck to me all day, holding my hand, even when we ate pizza, greasy slices on paper plates, a quiet Sunday. When they came back, Mom's eyes were red, Dad's mouth tight. They wouldn't say what they told him, just it's handled. That night, we all slept in the living room. Eli and Mom on the couch with me, Eli's head on my chest, Mom's breathing uneven, Dad in the recliner, poker still in reach. The house was silent, no humming, no tapping, just us. waiting. Thursday, a moving truck rolled up to Max's place. I watched from the porch, leaning on the railing, paint flaking under my fingers. They loaded boxes, furniture, Max and his parents moving slow, like shadows, pale, eyes sunken, mouths grim. Whatever he saw, it took something from all of them. They were gone by dusk. Truck rumbling down the road, tail lights swallowed by the hills. The humming's still here, every night. Mm, hmm, 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 hmm. Drifts past at 3:03, same as always. Eli's healthy, running wild. The gardens bloom. Dad's rifle hangs proud. Mom's quilts pile up. But we don't have guests now. No sleepovers, no visitors. Dad locks that key in a metal box, keeps it in his dresser. I think about Max, what he saw out there, why his whole family turned hollow, like the life drained out. And Eli, if he'd looked, if I'd been slower, would I have peeked too, to share it, to save him? I'm glad I don't know. Glad I'll never know. We stay, 'cause the good's too good, the gift's too sweet. Hollow bends in our blood now. But we're careful. Shutters locked, eyes down. Some nights, when the humming passes, I swear I hear Max's voice in it. Faint, lost, pleading. I pull the blankets tighter, squeeze my eyes shut. Some things you don't need to see. Some things you can't unsee.